Black men are really the white women of the black community. Like, think about it. Black men are protected and infantilized by black women just like white men infantilize and protect white women. We both uphold and conform to patriarchy, even though it's a system that really was never made for us to begin with. And this last one is the most egregious one, in my opinion. We both take the credit for things that black women have already done. We took the paychecks from our wives when it was hard for us to find work after we got emancipated from slavery, and we did it in order for us to feel like we were less emasculated and more in control of our lives. And we took credit for the work done by black women and gay men during the civil rights movement and almost completely abandoned their needs after we felt like we got what we needed. And even in the church, the women setting up bake sales, teaching Sunday school, and overall just helping the church to work like a well-oiled machine for years never got the credit they were due because it was given to the pastors and the deacons. I would never understand why we get so upset with our women when they want more from us, when they want us to be more supportive of them, when they supported us for years. Black men need to start holding ourselves accountable, especially those that don't abide by patriarchy and aren't misogynistic, because unfortunately, there's the brothers that don't know or refuse to learn are not going to listen to this kind of stuff from women.
Yeah, yeah, gosh, something wrong here.
Oh, you were finished. Oh, well, allow me to retort.
Because this is YouTube, I can't say things like, shut the fuck up and, you know, a bitch ass son husband. I can't say shit like, I wish I could, put the boost to you, and all that kind of shit, because, I can't talk about that. It's rage baiting and shit. It's all one sided. It's all one sided, man. You guys got to make your dollars some kind of way and shit. You have no talents, you have no skills and shit. So you adopt feminine traits and shit, and that shit make you angry, man, because you look like a male and shit. I guess you a trans male, okay? Maybe it's a formerly a chick, all right? Maybe it's formerly a chick and shit, okay? And maybe it's your time of the month and you got a thick pad on and you feel like venting or something. I don't know what to say. I can't say like shut the fuck up and shit, nigga. I can't say that. I can't say like I feel like kicking you in your asshole so bad you need a walker and shit. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm from the south side of Chicago and shit. I'm a lightweight. I'm old enough to be your grandfather, and I feel like I can't. I feel like saying some shit like that, but I can't say like you need. I want to take a hickory switch to you, man. I want to whoop you with a switch, not even a belt and shit. I can't say that, you need to be recycled and shit and re-raised. I mean, you in your 30s or something, they need to just start treating you like a little child and putting you in your baby seat and relearning you the ABCs and everything and shit, okay? I can't tell you that and shit. I'm just so frustrated because and I know and everyone else knows that the black supposed community at the America 3Ks and said, throwing up in my fucking mouth, we know that this shit is run by and for women and shit, okay? They actively undermine and miseducate us and shit, and then blame us for the shit they did to us and shit. And you're just bolstering the argument and shit against them having reproductive rights because they keep producing you. And you're the secondary of the seed level product and shit. The number one thing they produce is non productive Negroes and shit, males, effeminate bitch ass males. They can't make a decision to save their goddamn lives. And even when the answer's right in front of their face, they'll still make that wrong decision and destroy themselves and shit. It is the goal of the black community, and these matriarchal women and shit to keep you as a small cog in a big machine with no chance of real self development or realization and shit. It's sad, man. I can't say I feel like whooping your ass and shit. Like that movie Women of Brewster Place and shit. That miniseries Oprah got her ass whooped by Paul Winfield and shit for getting pregnant. I gotta give you one of those and shit on the men's side. God damn it. I regret you young YNs and shit. You're a YM. That's a young male. We can't call you a man. You're a male. Okay, you have to earn your manhood and shit at this point. Okay, because you're a bitch. Okay, you're supposed to I'm just saying, theoretically, YouTube, okay? I'm not threatening this motherfucker or nothing. This bitch ass nigga. I'm not threatening him and shit, man. I'm just saying he has to earn his manhood after posting some shit like this, trying to get, being a clout critter, basically. It's like being a lot lizard and shit. He out here on these mean streets looking at windows and shit with his pussy tooted up and shit, trying to get clicks on like some stupid ass misandrous black women and shit that support this nonsense because they don't have any life either or any fucking direction because there's no real men in life. They've miseducated and run off all the men. Okay, they destroyed all the men and shit. The ones that didn't get out of that motherfucker is wandering around aimlessly on the streets like zombies under a variety of influences and shit, or just lethargic to a fault. I facilitate between any of these points and shit, but I'm a very productive, dysfunctional motherfucker at times and shit. Okay, all right. Yet I don't present myself as any paragon of virtue. Like I have the the answer of what the meaning of life is and shit. But I know when I'm listening to some bullshit, I wish I would hear you saying that. I wish you was like my son or something in my house, and I was walking by and heard you saying that shit. I'll walk up and turn off the phone. I'll take your phone and shit, pocket it, and go about my business. And I wouldn't even act like I had your phone and shit. And if you asked me for that phone, you would get the boots and shit. Okay, you would get the boots, man. And I don't even know if I would feel like explaining why that I would do something like that and shit because you are out of pocket and shit. All right. If you kept talking to me, being out of pocket and shit, I'm gonna call some of the homies, or hire some niggas to come over and we gonna make you take all your motherfucking clothes off. Okay? No homo. We gonna make you take all your motherfucking clothes off and get out of the house and shit in the middle of the day in summer. We're gonna make you walk right out and do a walk of shame. You can't stand in front of the house and shit. You gonna do a walk of shame. And I'm wait till you get like 3 blocks away before I call the cops and tell them there's a naked Negro running around up there, probably hopped up or something, okay? You want to be I can be an op too and shit, okay? I have no patience for you simps. You goofy ass simps. Okay, I have a younger son and shit, and he's not gonna be like that. Or he's gonna be out the door, walking down the street with his birthday suit just like you. All right? Yeah, man. I remember they put out this. I remember they put out this article in I think the Griot or something. The black men are the white women or something. Black men are the something of the black community and shit. I think it was like this shit. I think this dude just cribbing notes, about us being a white men of whatever and shit. Yeah, yeah. I wish I knew where that motherfucker was at too. And she was an older guy. Okay, look him in the eye, face to face, and ask him about this stuff. I'd like have a serious conversation in the basement with this guy and shit with one light bulb. We're tired. The black community needs a version of what they had or have over there in Israel called Mossad. It's a little secret police thing. We need to do our shit. We can't do that over here because the minority majority will stick their nose in and shit. We can't do it. It has to be organic and shit where you just get tired of listening to nonsense and bullshit that's propagated on these social media websites and deal with it accordingly and shit. I tried to flag several videos and shit and got no traction. So they like putting out negative propaganda about, for black people to eat and consume and shit while the rest of the world keeps spinning off its axis and shit. I really don't know what else to say next and shit. I just, I know I can't say I feel like kicking your fucking heart out, right? Chicago style, man. You know what that means? That means like you see somebody, big dudes coming up on you and shit from the front, and then somebody take your knees out and shit, and it's actually, you on the feet and shit. You on the feet, and you ain't got no shoes or nothing. Your wallet gone, watch all that. Not that I'm a criminal or anything. I'm far from it. I don't have any kind of record or anything and shit. But you tempt me to cross the line and shit. And I just can't see myself doing that shit because, I know if I do something like that, I'll go to jail. I really don't feel like being in there with people like you or people that you caused to be in there and shit. And I know it's a death sentence. Then a lot of people, quite honestly, a lot of people want me to be down bad and out of here in the upper room and shit. Some bitches out there want me to be in the lower room and shit. And I just can't do that right now and shit. Maybe that's going to happen someday in the future, but not today. All right? I'm really offended that you would put out this post saying that black men are the white women of the black community and shit. We have no power either community, either world, the lower world where you live and shit, or the upper, you know, the minority majority world and shit, where we're ostracized and marginalized and placed in boxes and shit across the board, even in our own community by our own fucking women and shit. There's no reciprocity, there's no peace. You know, the only thing you can do is save yourself, black men and shit, okay? Now, if I pull up on you like Wesley Snipes and Blade when he was talking to that female outside the building, he said, hey, paraphrasing, he said, you better get your head, you better wake up, all right? The world you live in is a sugar-coated top, and there's a real world beneath it. There's a world beneath it, the real world, okay? That's where you live, motherfucker, on the chitlin circuit of social media and shit, in your own delusional mind, all right? Now, I'm gonna go now, shit. You can go back up under your mommy's skirt and shit and get in them panties and just sit on top of a tampon and shit, okay? All right, my nigga?
The Black Patriarchy. A non-existent group of fictional black male power brokers not discredited, erroneously jailed or outright killed by the minority majority who look the other way as they work tirelessly to shame, oppress, and outright take out the altruistic black female populace of the honorable democratic United States of America. 3K's inset bitches. These evil wealthy members of the black patriarchy are the sole reason for all the ills of the black community, walking, talking, holding down jobs, and doing everything up to and including giving their very lives in service to their baby mamas and baby's motherfucking kids. Their motto that strikes fear into the hearts of black women everywhere: bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.